pastries to go. No. Let me see it. Because there's...
Oh, you're not in. Okay.
your saucer. So.
More on the countryside. Okay. What made you choose Korea for your vacation?
We were in Japan for 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's so close. So I said, let's go if they can. Unless they're clinical staff, then they'll have to go down to the west.
So this is the sketchbook segment of the video, and I have a total of 16 entries that I can't wait to talk about because there's so many little details that I've made over the course of my trip. So yeah, but full disclosure, this page has been done before I even went on my trip, so we're just gonna ignore that. But this is where everything starts. But technically, this is actually where the trip starts because this is from our first actual day in Japan. But I'm not gonna flip back and forth because unfortunately some of the pages are out of order, so I'm just gonna go through them as they are. That being said, we're gonna start with this page. So up here was a part of my day in Shibuya and also an interactive art museum that I went to. And afterwards I got some vegan ice cream that was outside, and it was actually pretty good. And I didn't know what to put over here because it was blank and a really weird shape, so I just put silly doodles of myself. And down here I went to Harajuku with my family, and I got this free stamp from One Piece pop-up, and I know nothing about One Piece. I had never got into it, but the stamp was super cute to not get, and I gave it a try, and it turned out really bad, but honestly I think it has the sort of eerie charm to it, so I'm fine with it. I let it pass. We went to a 3-day art cafe that had these little Pikmin plushes near the door, and of course I had to draw them because they're too cute to ignore. And over here, when we had our first day, we went to Tsukiji Fish Market and got Wagyu beef. I tried out strawberry mochi and it was pretty good. Also, here was my outfit for the day and the drink that I got. And over here, you guys saw me working on the octopus around the beginning of the video. That was for the giant prawn cracker stand. But over here, this is the shrimp from the prawn stand, except it was on a card that you had to hold up to get your order, and it was really silly, so I had to draw it. Over here was from the rest of my day in Shibuya. I've also shown clips of myself working on this, but here is the complete set of people that I did draw, and I will say that out of all of them, this woman is my favorite because when I saw her coat, it just had so much character and gave her this interesting sort of cartoony silhouette, so I had to draw her. Here's some snacks that I had to keep because I had no glue or scissors on me, so I had to rely on stickers and tape on packaging. So yeah, that was an interesting experience. Okay, so here is the completed Gotanda page, and really I just added some lighter yellow strokes and did some black line art, and I think it turned out pretty decent for not going in with no expectations. And for the most part, I think you've seen a majority of the Ghibli page that I was working on, but I did add some Tomogachi stickers that I got from Korea, and here was the little guy from the short film that we saw, and one of Howl's aliases. This one is just a mess. I originally wanted to do a page for this temple that we saw, but the blank spaces were really weird and I didn't know what to do with it, so I just slapped on more scraps that I could find from both what I had and what my family members had. Over here was what I worked on the train. This one is also really nice, but I think the temple down here really ruined it because it just does not match the rest of it at all. So yeah, we're just gonna move on. We've already seen the full version of this one, but I felt like adding the date because why not? And I think this is one of my favorite pages in my sketchbook. Down here is the completed version of my Osaka Castle page that I showed earlier, where I was wearing my kimono. And yeah, I also like this one, but definitely not in my top 2 favorites. This one though is completely Nara. So when you go to feed the deer in Nara, there are these paper straps that hold the crackers I could give them. But the ones that I had got eaten by the deer, so my aunt thankfully had one still, so I snagged it from her and slapped it into my sketchbook as soon as possible. Here's the baby deer and her mama that we saw earlier, and I'm really rusty at drawing animals, but gotta get the practice in somehow. Over here, this thing actually had a full story on the deer snacks and the deer themselves, and apparently the deers are deemed as messengers of the gods, which is pretty interesting. And below here is Starbucks packaging just for background. Here's some snacks that we ate and a building that I saw when I was in that Starbucks. Over here though, these are from the same day. This is from the Shinkansen that we took to Nagoya to see the Ghibli Park. And this is from our last day. And then over here, I think this is our second to last day where we're doing some final souvenir shopping, and I got a Miffy themed embroidery pin and I kept the packaging because it was too cute to throw away. I think this was the third to last day. We went to an animal cafe that had 3 different floors, and these ones look like they're drawn by a 3-year-old, but it's actually the drawings that were done on the side of the building where the animal cafe was located. And before we move on, the context for this one, I was sitting down and waiting for an animal to come up to me, and this beige, I think beige, poodle named Annie came up to me, and she was looking up at me, and I pat the platform next to me expecting that she would just sit right next to me, but she just jumped straight into my lap and made herself comfortable, and I was so shocked, and she just stayed there for a while until new people came in. So Korea, I had very few souvenirs. This is the only Korea, oh wait, no. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of souvenirs from Korea, but I did what I could. So this is from the restaurant that we had on our last day there, and this is from when I went to Namsan Seoul Tower, and I think this was a receipt from some souvenirs that I got. I think this is my second favorite page in my sketchbook because I really love how the building turned out. Obviously the perspective is not perfect because it is free-handed, and also I'm just not that skilled at perspective, but I still like how it turned out. And yeah, I think this is just a very fun page, and I love drawing myself in the clothes that I wore there. So this is when I went to Starfield Library. You guys saw me show the finished sketch for this, but I colored this in when I was waiting for the plane at the airport coming back home, and yeah, it was really fun doing this as well because also it's working with perspective and I really suck at it. But yeah, I think it turned out kind of cute. Definitely still not one of my favorite pages, but it was an attempt. I didn't know what to put down here, so I just slapped on a water bottle label. And then lastly, this is just a very last minute page. I had some scraps still left from Japan. So the context for this one was there was a record store in Harajuku that I went into called Beams Records right here, and they had a Tribe Called Quest album, but it was a Japanese release, and I thought that was super cool, and I got it. And I also got a new Jabe's album, which I had been playing since yesterday, and it sounds so good. And I didn't know what to put in this space here, so I just drew myself listening to music. But oh, I lied. This this back part is actually from Korea when I got my caricature done at Acorn Caricature, and yeah, I think this is where it ends. So yeah, thank you guys for sticking with me for this long in the video. If you have, I will try to put out videos more this year because I do have ideas. I will be doing a video on my AP art portfolio, what I've learned. I'll also be doing sketchbook tours of all the sketchbooks that I did in high school since I've graduated. And I think those are the only two ones that I'm very set on putting out. So I'm honestly just winging everything. I'm still very much a beginner. I've even showed what my setup looks like at the moment. So anyways, again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.